Hey everyone, Nate from Wizardwig Studios. Today we are going to be doing a belated unboxing of the core starter set for Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings. Now this is a rank and file mass battle game produced by Para Bellum Wargames, set in their unique fantasy world. This box set is massive. Like, I had to completely rework how I had my camera set up just to get the whole thing in camera view. So, with that said, I'm gonna flip the box over and throw a different lens on so we can get a bit closer of a look. The back of the box has a solid overview of what comes in it, so we'll run down that real quick and then we will pull everything out and take a closer look. So I will be right back. And I'm back. So I have flipped over the box so we can take a look at the overview real fast. In the box you are going to get your rulebook, 28 command cards, 12 dice, 75 hard plastic miniatures. Yes, 75. Now, this is a two-player starter, which I think I failed to mention earlier in the video. So you are going to get two of the currently released 4 factions. There is a 5th faction coming in April, and potentially a 6th faction coming sometime this year after that, of course. So, starting up, you're going to get the 100 Kingdoms and the Spires in this box set, with the 100 Kingdoms being your human faction and the Spires being kind of your elf faction. Now, for the 100 Kingdoms, you are going to get a mounted noble lord here. You're going to get some household knights, some crossbowmen, and some men-at-arms, along with 3 faction-specific objective markers. For the Spire side, you are going to get your Ferromancer here. You're going to get some Force-grown drones. Odd thing to say, but I've got there. Brute drones, and the big baddie of the whole box, the Abomination. So, that's what's in it. Let's go ahead and take everything out and get an even closer look at it all. Alright, so I know you're here to see some minis. Let's get through all of this as quick as possible. So, rulebook, command cards, dice, and bases. So, dice. You've all seen them. If you're playing a miniatures game, you probably have quite a few. Now, rules of engagement. So it comes with a softback book, and ooh, it's nice. Yeah. So, of course, rulebook is going to do its thing with its rules. I've looked through the online version. This is the first time I've had it in paper, and so I like it. When I was looking through it previously, it's got some solid pictures and diagrams and whatnot to explain everything that needs to happen. And so from here, this is your basic rules and some information about the the world, blah, if I could speak. Anyway, and then now you have your advanced rules. This is talking about how your command models work and terrain and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really nifty system. I will be getting into the rules in a little bit more depth in a different video. Otherwise, this video would be like 2 hours long. So I love it that it comes with this. If you are curious to read the rules to see if this is something you would be interested in picking up, the rules are available on their website. I will throw the link to that portion of their website in the description. bases. You've got, it's a rank and file system, so this is a cavalry base, and so that way you can, you know, put your bases together. You glue your mini to this, it goes to there. So if you ever lose, you know, if for whatever reason you take a casualty that doesn't remove the square base, you're able to remove the circle base. Also, they do have a skirmish rule set called First Blood that uses the circle bases and not these. So it's nifty that with Conquest coming first, they were able to use them for casualties, and now for First Blood, you can intermingle these for First Blood and then these together for Conquest. So yeah, long-winded explanation of bases. So anyway, and then last but not least, you have your command cards. These are a okay. So not only do these give you your unit type and all the other kind of stuff. So your class, the type, so class light, medium, heavy, infantry, the type is like infantry, cavalry, monster, etc., etc. This is a character, and then this is its profile here for what it can do. Now, so not only does this explain what this guy does down here, but this also plays a role in the game in the sense that you will have a command stack. So these are the units you've chosen to bring to battle. Once these units are on the battlefield, you will use these to create your command stack. And so when you draw at the start of your activation, you'll draw the top of this deck that you've created, and this is the unit that has to go. So if you're familiar with like Star Wars Armada, they have a similar system with their command dials. So really like that. So you get those for the Spires, a few for your the 100 Kingdoms. I just blanked on their name. And then you get your secondary objective cards, which you'll use these to score secondary objectives during your game for victory points and stuff. So, quick look at those. Real quick look at those if I get them off the table. So now I will kind of figure out how to get these sprues up here, because the sprues are large. Give me a second. I'll be right back again. Okay, so I have decided to start with the 100 Kingdoms, and first up from them is the Noble Lord mounted. So there's their character card. Slide that off to the side. And the sprue. Now, okay, so I have decided to start with the 100 Kingdoms. First up from the 100 Kingdoms, we have the Mounted Noble Lord. So there's the card again. Slide that off. Center up. Now, real quick, this is a 38 millimeter scale miniatures game. So a little bigger than what most people will probably be used to when it comes to playing miniatures games. I think the big three out there are all 28 millimeter scale. 28 millimeter heroic when you're discussing like 40K and stuff. So with heroic being a little bit chunkier with their and a little loose on the scale exactly, These being 38 mil, they will be bigger. I will show a comparison in a different video, which, why would I say that? Because it's not relevant. So let's start over. Okay, so I have chosen to start with the 100 Kingdoms. And first up from them, we have the Mounted Noble Lord. So there's the card again. Slide that off and center up. Before we get too far into this, I want to let you know that this is a 38 millimeter scale game. So this will probably be bigger than what you're used to seeing. Especially from this channel, as I predominantly have unboxed 28 millimeter and 28 millimeter heroic scaled miniature games. So, yeah, let's just take a closer look, shall we? I lost my train of thought there for a second. Yeah, and so we will zoom in. So the detail with the plastic is good. It is hard plastic, like the box said. Sometimes I feel like that name is thrown around a little willy-nilly. Sometimes when someone says hard plastic, it's not as hard as I had expected. Anyway, this is as hard as I expected it to be. Ha! So, with the scale, the detail is bigger. It may not necessarily be more, which I actually like. Just because the minis are larger scale than normal doesn't mean you have to complicate the model with fiddly pieces and all kinds of crazy that you gotta paint. And so really do like the way that this sprue looks. And I'm keeping it zoomed in just so we can get a feel for the pieces in general. And so say like that's pretty cool. See if I can get that to focus. Will you focus? So yeah, and we'll come back out. But yeah, so really like the design of the sprue. The scale is new to me, so definitely going to be interesting to get used to. So let's go ahead and move on to the next unit, which will stay with the cavalry. Now these sprues are much bigger, and it's basically the same sprue we were just looking at. So that was, I would consider, what is a half sprue. So if you wanted to, you could do that, and now you have two half sprues, which we will. So that way I can keep it in focus to the camera. So zoom in a little. And then these guys, this is just your...
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm back. So I needed to double check that real quick. So I think I got these a little mixed up. Seems like. So sorry about that. Let's go ahead and correct this real fast. So it looks like if I split it like I did, you're going to get three sprues, three similar sprues. So it would have been like basically one of these sprues was snapped off from another sprue already and put in another box, because you're going to get a full sprue, which is one horse or two horses on the full sprue, and then a third horse. So if you split them into half sprues like I have here, these are three identical minis. So these were not the Lord, the Noble Lord mounted. These are actually going to just be the Household Knights. So we've been looking at the Household Knights. My bad. So, real quick, since we've seen these, three Household Knights, we'll slide those off to the side. And we are going to take a look at the actual other sprue that has that on there. Now, I'm going to snap this off again, and then snap this again, because this is a different army. And then we'll look at this. Okay, all over the place. So this is the Lord, the noble Lord, mounted noble Lord, however you want, whichever direction you want to say it. I'm always used to saying it noble Lord, and then like mounted or on foot is like the secondary part of the name. I've never had it in the front before, so it's kind of weirding me out. Anywho, so we will take a closer look at this sprue now. So you can tell the horse is modeled differently than the other guys to differentiate. It looks like he has a huge horse. This guy is beefy. Look at those legs. Dang. And then all kinds of nifty pieces to put this bad boy together. Big ol'... See, I love that lance. That lance is so nice. Okay. So, just a quick rundown again. This is Noble Lord. You get one of these sprues in the box. Then, also going to get one full sprue of the horses plus a half sprue. I've just gone ahead and tore these in half. So now it's 3 half sprues, all identical. So that's going to be your 3 horses, which are your house knights. And then real quick, just because it was here, this is the sprue that was attached to the character for the Spires, and this is what you use to make your objective markers. So, cool. All right, continuing on with the 100 Kingdoms. So, you're going to get your one full sprue of Mercenary Bowmen, which we're going to pop in half as well, just because we can. Makes it easier. So each now half sprue is going to have 6 bodies on it, because you're going to get 12 of these total in the starter. Now we'll go ahead and pop in for a closer look. So, like I said earlier, the detail is good, but it is not overly complicated, just because you have the space doesn't mean you necessarily have to make it ridiculously crazy. So, here's a look at a few of the bodies, and then a couple of the weapons. So, you will get the one full sprue here, and that's 12. Again, 12 of these bowmen. And last, not least, for these guys, you are looking at the men-at-arms. So 2 identical full sprues. I'm going to go ahead and, you know the drill. I'm going to pop one of those off. And you get 24 of these guys, so each of these sections of sprue will have 6 guys on it. And these are your standard just foot soldiers, sword and board. Get a little closer look. So I hadn't mentioned it before, but there seems to be a bit of posability, because you've got flat arm socket to flat arm socket, so you can kind of generally, when you're fitting those together, you can rotate them. There is going to be a little like sweet spot that they'll stick to really, really well, but you can give or take a bit to get a little bit of posability to it. And then with the flat body, your twist and stuff can be a bit different. So then you got your shields here and some arms. So yeah, that is the men-at-arms. You get 24 of those for the 100 Kingdoms. And that is the 100 Kingdoms for this 2-player starter. So I am going to go grab the Spires and hope I don't mess those up almost as badly as I did these ones. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back with the Spires. First up for the Spires, we have the Ferromancer. Now, there's the card. And then, this is, I'm dubbing this the quarter sprue, which I don't know if you guys are tracking how I'm doing that, but it works for me, so I am going to continue doing it. Let's zoom in here and take a closer look, and let's see. Yeah, okay, so that's upside down. Ooh, his face. That is cool. Got his staff, 2-piece, so. Oh, good. Socketed. His robes. 1 arm. Of course, we just looked at the staff, so that's probably the other arm. And then some little pieces for bits on him. Once he goes together, I figure that would probably be pretty easy to figure out where those glue down to. So yeah, 1 Ferromancer. And then next up, grab this sprue. This is the Force Grown Drones sprue. Now you're going to get 4 of these in here. And before I snap them apart, I want to check to see exactly what is on this. See if I'm capable of doing that. Because you're going to get 24 of these. So I'm seeing if it's 6 and 6 again. So you got to see 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I counting that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Weird. So I can't snap these ones. And you get 24 of these in here. So looks like that, yeah, these aren't half sprues. So that's kind of a bummer. I guess I can split it though, and then I'll just show you both of them because that's easiest. So anyway, so with 4 of these and it being, so we'll go all the way in and show you this sprue. So this is the sprue that has the 4 minis on it. So there's a few of the feet, or the lower body, the torso, chest, some of the weapons. That's nifty. I like that. And then flip that over. I like that. That's cool. So looking over, yeah, so these guys do have a special rule for shields. So this is a shield. And we'll zoom out and then we'll take a look at the other half, which this is 2 duders. So you got your guys over here, and then just a real quick close up of some random pieces on this sprue. Now, I understand this being a bigger scale, and I am a little bummed with how much empty space is on these. That's me just being spoiled when it comes to sprues, I guess. But anyway, so full sprue, 6 of these guys. You get 4 of those in the box. And like 4 full sprues. Sorry. That probably didn't make much sense the way I said it. So 4 full sprues for 24 minis. Okay, what's next? Brute drone. The brute drone. So the brute drones are going to be on this big old piece here. So you're going to get 3 brute drones on this full sprue. And like I've been doing this whole video, I'm going to snap that off. Let me take a closer look at these guys. So we'll go ahead and zoom in again. You got your bodies. Ooh, so they're ball and socket joints, which I probably could have noticed earlier, but I didn't. So from the looks of it, this is the front. Oops, let's get that on camera. So this is the front of one, and then the back of the other 2. And then you have various other pieces of the model. So there's the back of one, so forth and so on. Big old blade. That's chunky. I like that. Alright, and then the other sprue. You got your legs, more arms, different looking blade, so that's cool. So a little bit of variety for their weapons. Yeah. So you're going to get that one full sprue, which I have split into 2 half sprues, and that's going to be 3 minis. And then last but not least, the big bad boy of this starter set, the Spire Abomination. This thing is massive. So you get 2 full sprues for this one model. I'm gonna just, it's probably not gonna let me do it. Oh, there's one. No. There we go. That was a little bit more work than it needed to be, but I really want to show you some of these. So, crap, because that's not gonna let me really bend it either. There we go. Oh, I'm breaking it. I'm breaking it too much. Oh, it just came off. Ah! Anyway. So. Okay. This sprue. Yes. Anyway. Ooh, hey look. Face. I'm really getting good at just picking out the faces from the first go. That is so creepy. You got some claws. I don't know what those are. Sorry. Carapace piece, which I've already popped off. Anyway, I'll clean that up. So that's half sprue number 1. You got some more carapace piece, some arm pieces, another hand. Jeez, I don't know how many hands this thing's got. We'll find out when I build it. I just know it's a really big model for, it stands tall. All right, half sprue number 2. Ooh, what is that? Like a bug symbol on its chest. That's interesting, like that. And then some more hands, some claws, bits and pieces for the arms. I'm feeling that that's probably the waist bit right there. Wait, there's the chest. So what is that? I don't know. Anywho, so like I said, I'll find out when I build it, because that definitely looks more like the chest, doesn't it? More shoulders. That's probably, yeah, that's the back. So that's like the shoulders, your shoulder blades and stuff. All right, half sprue number 3. Now last sprue. Looks like the other side of his rib cage. Some more back pieces. I'm really thinking that this is part of an arm. I think this is like his shoulder socket, and then this is his elbow, I think. So, yeah. And then, no idea what this is. All right. So, yes, the abomination. That was entertaining, to say the least. But yeah, so that comes on the 2 full sprues. If you want to snap them apart like I did, go right ahead. That's just, I was doing that for the camera's sake. I probably wouldn't have done that normally. And before I forget, that's what the upper half of the abomination is supposed to look like. Oh yeah, that's the back of the cards. It's just got the Conquest symbol on them. But yeah, yeah. So that was an interesting video, I have to say. I didn't stop and redo anything or use a script or anything crazy. So just a natural unboxing video, if that's such a thing. Anywho, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, or if you want to see more for this game, because I plan on featuring it heavily on this channel, please subscribe. If you liked the video too, give me a thumbs up. And if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the description, not the description, in the comment section below. Questions I will answer, comments I will read. And we can get a nice little convo going about this game. It's going to be an awesome game, and I can't wait to cover it more on this channel. Okay, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. See you later.